On the outskirts of a small, isolated town, there was a place shrouded in darkness and fear, Hollow Hill. The townspeople rarely spoke of it, but when they did, their voices were hushed and their eyes filled with terror. It was said that a famous monster, Frankenstein's creation, had found refuge there after fleeing from his creator. One stormy night, a group of friends, Tom, Sarah, and Emily, decided to explore Hollow Hill, hoping to catch a glimpse of the monster. With flashlights in hand and hearts pounding, they ventured into the darkness. As they approached the hill, the wind howled and lightning illuminated the twisted trees that surrounded them. They found an old, decrepit mansion hidden amongst the shadows. Its cracked windows seemed to stare at them like lifeless eyes. They hesitated at the entrance, but curiosity got the better of them. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit hallway. The air was thick with dust and the stench of decay. They stepped inside, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the walls. As they ventured deeper, they heard strange noises, whispers, footsteps, and the distant sound of chains dragging across the floor. They turned a corner and found a room filled with grotesque experiments, jars containing body parts, surgical tools, and an operating table stained with dried blood. Suddenly, they heard a guttural growl. They turned their flashlights toward the source, and there, in the darkness, stood the monster. It was a horrifying sight, a patchwork of human flesh, with lifeless eyes and a twisted snarl. The friends screamed and tried to flee, but the monster lunged at them with unnatural speed. It grabbed Tom, its powerful hands crushing his bones. Sarah and Emily managed to escape the room, their hearts pounding as they raced through the mansion. They stumbled upon a hidden passage, leading them to a library filled with ancient tomes. In a desperate attempt to find a way to defeat the monster, they began to search through the dusty pages. They discovered a passage about a ritual that could banish the creature. With little time to spare, they gathered the necessary items, a silver knife, a mirror, and a vial of blood. They recited the incantation as the monster's footsteps grew louder. The room began to shake, and a blinding light filled the air. When the light faded, the monster was gone. Sarah and Emily, still trembling with fear, made their way back to the entrance, only to find Tom's lifeless body. They knew the monster was no longer a threat, but the cost of their curiosity was immeasurable. Years passed since the haunting events at Hollow Hill, and the town slowly began to heal. Sarah and Emily, now adults, had moved away, but the memory of that fateful night never left them. The townspeople continued to avoid Hollow Hill, but whispers of the monster's existence turned into nothing more than a distant memory. One day, a newcomer named John arrived in town. He was a curious man, fascinated by the town's history and eager to learn about the legend of Hollow Hill. Despite the townspeople's warnings, he felt compelled to explore the abandoned mansion. As he approached the hill, the sky darkened, and an unsettling chill filled the air. The mansion loomed before him, its decaying walls and shattered windows a stark reminder of the horrors that had occurred within. Undeterred, John entered the mansion with a flashlight and a sense of adventure. He explored the dusty rooms, his footsteps echoing through the silent halls. He discovered the remnants of the friends' desperate attempt to banish the monster, the silver knife, the shattered mirror, and the dried blood. As he continued his search, he stumbled upon a hidden chamber. Within it, he found a mysterious book bound in human flesh. Unable to resist his curiosity, John opened the book and began to read aloud an ancient incantation. The ground trembled, and a terrible roar echoed through the mansion. John realized his mistake too late. he had unwittingly released the monster from its banishment. The creature, more terrifying than before, emerged from the shadows. Its patchwork flesh had decayed, and its eyes glowed with an unholy light. It lunged at John, who narrowly escaped its grasp. Realizing the danger he had unleashed, John desperately sought a way to stop the monster. He discovered the story of Sarah and Emily's encounter and decided to reach out to them for help. When they received John's message, Sarah and Emily knew they had to return to their hometown to face the nightmare that had haunted them for years. They reunited with John and devised a plan to permanently destroy the monster. Armed with knowledge and determination, they returned to Hollow Hill. As they entered the mansion, the monster appeared, more enraged than ever. They fought the creature with all their strength, wielding weapons forged from silver and fire. The battle was fierce, and the friends suffered terrible injuries. But in the end, they managed to drive the silver knife into the monster's heart. The creature let out a final, agonizing scream as its body disintegrated into ash. With the monster defeated once and for all, the friends left Hollow Hill, their wounds healing but their scars remaining as a reminder of the horrors they had faced. The town, now safe from the monster's wrath, began to rebuild and move on from the darkness that had plagued it for so long. The mansion on Hollow Hill was left to crumble, its sinister secrets buried beneath the rubble. And as for the mysterious book that had unleashed the monster, it was locked away, never to be opened again.